Hi, third graders. I hope you've had a great week. I have a new story for you today, but first let's talk about some words. A contraction is a word that's made by shortening and combining two words. For instance, we could say is not, or we could use the contraction isn't. We use an apostrophe to show that we took out the letter O in the word not. I'm going to show you some more words, and I want you to see if you know the contraction. Do not becomes don't. Cannot becomes can't. He is becomes he's. This last one is a little bit trickier because it doesn't follow the same rule of removing a letter or letters. This word actually changes a little bit. Will not becomes won't. This week, you're going to write some sentences using contractions. Here is a list of contractions. Choose two of these words each day and write them in a sentence. Remember to use good sentences that have correct capitalization and punctuation. Your story this week is realistic fiction, which means it isn't a true story, but it could be. The characters and setting are like people and places in real life, and the events are things that could happen. This story is called Sprack. Have you ever heard the word sprack before? You'll have to read the story to find out what it means. This story begins in a neighborhood where Mia is selling warm apple cider. When Mark realizes she doesn't have any customers, he shows kindness by buying a cup. In the next chapter, Mia decides to do a good deed by donating one of her sweaters. As the story continues, you'll see many characters showing acts of kindness in many different ways. I want you to read the story to learn how others showed kindness. Remember to pause the video while you are reading each page. Now that you've read SPRAC, do you know what it stands for? Spreading random acts of kindness. Have you ever sparked? See if you can find an opportunity this week to SPRAC. Maybe you could do something to help and show kindness to someone in your family. For writing this week, I want you to write about the characters in the story and how they spread kindness. Choose one character a day and tell their story in a few sentences. What kind of what act of kindness did they do? Why did they choose to do what they did? And how did it affect the other person? So this week you're going to be writing sentences using your contractions, and you're also going to be writing about the characters in the story and how they spread kindness in different ways. Also, see if you can find an opportunity to do a random act of kindness this week. Have a great week.